What's up, it's Nez, and hello everyone, welcome back to Doki Doki Murder Club. Last episode we sold our soul to the literature club for opie and cupcakes, so now we're back here on our second day, where we just wrote a very morbid poem last night. Hi again, Nez. Glad to see you didn't run away on us. Nah, don't worry. This might be a little strange coming from me, but at least I keep my word. Well, I'm back at the literature club. I was the last to come in, so everyone else is already hanging out. Thanks for keeping your promise, Nez. I hope it isn't too overwhelming of a commitment for you, making you dive headfirst into literature when you're not accustomed to it. Oh come on, like he deserves any slack. Sayori told me he didn't even want to join any clubs this year. And last year too. I don't know if you just plan to come here and hang out or what. But if you don't take us seriously, then you won't see the end of it. Please do not hurt me. Natsuki, you certainly have a big mouth for someone who keeps her manga collection in the club room. Natsuki finds herself stuck between saying Monica and manga. Manga is literature. Swiftly defeated, Natsuki plops back into her seat. Don't worry, guys. Nez always gives his best as long as he's having fun. He helps me with busy work even without me asking for it. Like cooking, cleaning my room. How dependable. Sayori, that's because your room is so messy it's distracting. And you almost set your house on fire once. Is that so? Right, of course. You two are really good friends, aren't you? I might be a little jealous. How come? You and Nez can become good friends too. Sayori? As usual, Sayori seems oblivious to the weird situation she just put me into, aside from dragging us into this murder club. Oh, Yuri even brought you something today, you know? Wait, Sayori. Me? Not really. Don't be shy. It's really nothing. What is it? Is it a severed head? Is it the knife that you plan to kill me with? Never mind. Sayori made it sound like a big deal when it's really not. What do I do? I'm sorry, Yuri, I wasn't thinking. I guess that means it's up to me to rescue this situation. Hey, don't worry about it. First of all, I wasn't expecting anything in the first place, so any nice gesture from you is a pleasant surprise. It'll make me happy no matter what. Is that so? Yeah, I won't make it a big deal if you don't want it to be. Alright. Well, here. Yuri reaches into her bag and pulls out a book. I didn't want you to feel left out, so I picked out a book that I thought you might enjoy. It's a short read, so I thought it would keep your attention, even if you don't usually read. And we could, you know, discuss it if you wanted. In private? In private? This. How is this girl accidentally being so cute? Because she's not, she's purposely manipulating you, boy. She even picked out a book she thinks I'll like, despite me not even reading much. Yuri, thank you, I'll definitely read this. I enthusiastically take the book. Phew. Well, you can read it at your own pace. I look forward to hearing what you think. Now that everyone's settled in, I expected Monica to kick off some scheduled activities for the club. But that doesn't seem to be the case. Sayori and Monica are having a cheery conversation in the corner. Yuri's face is already buried in a book. I can't help but notice her intense expression, like she was waiting for this chance. Meanwhile, Natsuki's rummaging around in the closet, looking for what? Other skeletons in the closet? I'm really curious to talk to Yuri a little bit more, but at the same time I would feel bad for distracting her from reading. I catch a glimpse of the cover of her book. It looks like the same book that she lent to me, huh? More than that, she seems to be on the first few pages. Ah. Crap. I think she noticed me looking at her. She sneaks another glance at me and our eyes meet for a split second. But that only makes her hide her face deeper in the book. Sorry. I was just spacing out. I muttered this, sensing I made her uncomfortable. Oh, it's fine. If I was focused then I probably wouldn't have noticed in the first place. But I'm just rereading a bit of this, so... That's the book you gave me, right? Yep. I wanted to reread some of it. Not for any particular reason. Just curious, how come you have two copies of the same book? Well, when I stopped at the bookstore yesterday, that's not what I meant. I mean, I just happened to buy two of them. I see. There's something fairly obvious here that Yuri isn't telling me, but I decide to let it go. I'll definitely start reading it soon. I'm glad to hear. Once it starts to pick up, you might have a hard time putting it down. It's a very engaging and relatable story. Is that so? What's it about anyway? Well... Yuri closes the book and scans her eyes over the back. The book is titled Portrait of Markov. There's an ominous-looking eye symbol on the front cover. Oh, okay. Alright. I just wanted to make sure I don't accidentally give anything away. Basically, it's about this girl in high school who moves in with her long-lost younger sister. But as soon as she does so, her life gets really strange. She gets targeted by these people who escaped from a human experiment prison. And while her life is in danger, she needs to desperately choose who to trust. No matter what she does, she ends up destroying most of her relationships and her life starts to fall apart. That's kind of morbid! Very morbid to be succinct. That's kind of dark, isn't it? Yuri made it sound like it was going to be a nice story, so that dark turn came from out of nowhere. Yuri gently giggles all of a sudden. Are you not a fan of that sort of thing, Nez? Will it cost me my life if I'm not a fan of that sort of thing? No, it's not that. I mean, I can definitely enjoy these kinds of stories, so don't worry. I hope so. Yeah, I totally forgot that Yuri's into those things. She's so shy and reclusive on the outside, but her mind seems to be completely different. How different? Terrifyingly different? It's just that those kinds of stories, they challenge you to look at life from a strange new perspective. When horrible things happen not just because someone wants to be evil, but because they have their own goals and their own philosophy that they believe in. Then suddenly when you thought you related to the protagonist, they're made out to be the naive one for letting their one-sided morals interfere with the villain's plans. I'm rambling, aren't I? Not again. I'm sorry. Hey, don't apologize. I haven't lost interest or anything. Well, I guess it's alright then. But I feel like I should let you know that I have this problem. What kind of problem? Do you like killing people? When I let things like books and writing fill my thoughts, I kind of forget to pay attention to other people. So I'm sorry if I end up saying something strange. And please stop me if I start talking too much. I really don't think you need to worry. That just means you're passionate about reading. The least I can do is listen. It's the literature club after all. Well, that's true. In fact, I might as well get started reading it, right? You don't have to. Haha, what are you saying? Just a moment ago, you were looking forward to it. Let me just get the book. I quickly retrieve the book that I put into my bag. Alright, it's fine if I sit here, right? I slip into the seat next to Yuri's. Yeah. Are you sure? You seem a little apprehensive. I'm sorry. It's not that I don't want you to, baka. It's just something I'm not very used to. That is, reading in company with someone. I see. Well, just tell me if I end up distracting you or anything. Oh, alright. I open the book and start the prologue. I soon understand what Yuri means about reading in company. It's as if I can feel her presence over my shoulder as I read. It's not a particularly bad thing. Maybe a little distracting, but the feeling is somewhat comforting. Yuri's in the corner of my eye. I realize she's not actually looking at her own book. I glance over. It looks like she's reading from my book instead. Sorry. I was just... Yuri, you really apologize a lot, don't you? I do? I don't really mean to. Sorry. I mean... Okay, we're not falling for any of this bullshit, are we? Here, this should work, right? I slide my desk until it's up against Yuri's, then hold my book more between the two of them. I suppose so. Yuri timidly closes her own copy. Once we each lean a little bit, our shoulders are almost touching. It feels like my left arm is in the way, so instead I use my right hand to hold the book open. I guess this makes it kind of difficult to turn the page. Here. Oh, we're so close to her now with a clear view of her boobs, the book. Yuri takes her left arm and holds the left side of the book between her thumb and forefinger. I do the same with my right arm and the right side of the book. That way I turn the page and Yuri slides it under her thumb after it flips to her side. But in holding it like this, we're huddled even closer together than before. It's actually kind of distracting me. It's as if I can feel the warmth of Yuri's face, and she's in the corner of my vision. Are you ready? Ready for what? To turn the page. Yes, exactly, that's what we were thinking about. Sorry. I think I got a little bit distracted for a second. I glance over at Yuri's face again and our eyes meet. I don't know how I'll be able to keep up with her. That's okay. You're not as used to reading, right? I don't mind being patient if it takes you a bit longer. It's probably the least I can do, since you've been so patient with me. Yeah, right. Thanks. We continue reading. Yuri no longer asks me if I'm ready to turn the page. Instead, I just assume that she finishes the page before me, so I turn it on my own volition. We continue the first chapter in silence. Even so, turning each page feels like an intimate exchange. My thumb gently letting go of the page, letting it flutter over to her side as she catches it under her own thumb. Hey, Yuri. This might be a silly thought, but the main character kinda reminds me of you a little bit. You think so? How does she? Well, I guess she's more blunt in a lot of ways, but she also second-guesses a lot of things that she says and does. Like she's afraid she'll do something wrong. It's not like I can see into your head or anything, but they're kind of reminiscent of some of your mannerisms. I see. I think we just creeped her out. Yuri remains silent for a moment. But Nez, that's probably a terrible thing to have in common with her. Oh, that's so embarrassing that you think that. Wait, I didn't mean it in a bad way or anything. Sorry, I didn't really know that you were self-conscious about that sort of thing. I guess I meant it more that it's kind of cute. What are you saying all of a sudden? Okay, everyone. Okay, cock blocked. Cock blocked. I think it's about time we share today's poems with each other. We might not have enough time if we wait too long. Yuri exhales, spared from finishing her thought. Is that alright, Yuri? You look kind of down. I'm sorry if you haven't been looking forward to this. It's not... It's fine. Yuri releases her hand from the book, causing it to close on top of my thumb. Alright, I guess I'll do some more reading tonight. Or would you prefer I only read it with you? I guess I don't have too much of a preference either way. In that case, I'll read a little more tonight. It'll be more fun to read with you after it picks up a bit, you know? That's good reasoning. In that case, feel free to finish the first 2 chapters in your own time. Alright. I stand up. I make a mental note of where I left off in the book, then slip it back into my bag. By the way, did you remember to write a poem last night? Yes, I wrote a very morbid poem. I hope it pleases my auburn-haired overlord. Yeah. My relaxation ends. I can't believe I agreed to do something so embarrassing. I couldn't really find much inspiration since I've never really done this before. Well, now that everyone's ready, why don't you find someone to share with? I can't wait! Sayori and Monica enthusiastically pull out their poems. Sayori's is on a wrinkled sheet of loose leaf torn from a spiral notebook. On the other hand, Monica wrote hers in a composition notebook. I can already see Monica's pristine handwriting from where I sit. Natsuki and Yuri reluctantly comply as well, reaching into their bags. I do the same myself. Time to read some poems. Who should I show my poem to first? Let's go with the Munchkin. I told Natsuki I was interested in her poems yesterday. It's probably only fair if I shared mine with her first. What's up, Munchkin? Well, it's about what I expected from someone like you. That's a little blunt. Well, excuse me, princess. It's not like I said it was bad. It just didn't evoke any emotions. So basically, it's not cute enough for your taste? Do you want to get smacked? I'll pass, that's not my fetish. Huh. Well, anyway, I guess I need to show you mine. Not that you'll like it. Eagles can fly, monkeys can climb, crickets can leap, horses can race, owls can seek, cheetahs can run, eagles can fly, people can try, but that's about it. Yeah, I told you that you weren't gonna like it. I like it! What? Just be honest. I am! Why are you so convinced that I wouldn't like it? Well, because everyone in high school thinks that writing has to be all sophisticated and stuff, so people don't take my writing seriously. But isn't the point of poems for people to express themselves? Your writing style shouldn't make your message any less valid. Yes, exactly. I like it when it's easy to read but it hits you hard. Like in this poem. Seeing everyone around you do great things can be really disheartening. So I decided to write about it. Yeah, I understand. But the other nice thing about simple writing is that it puts more weight on the wordplay. Like I set up for a rhyme at the end but then made it fall flat on purpose. That's kind of the opposite of Shakespearean poetry. In Shakespearean poetry, nothing rhymes until the very end to close it off. It helps bring out the feeling in the last line. So you did. I guess more went into it than I realized. That's what it means to be a pro. I guess you learned something. Didn't expect that from the youngest one here, did ya? Yeah, I guess not. I decide to humor her with that last comment. I don't really care about how old everyone is, but if Natsuki's feeling proud, then I won't take that away from her. As long as she's not under 18, we're good. We're all good. So who should we show our poem to next? Let's go with Yuri. As Yuri reads the poem, I notice her eyes lighten. Exceptional. Huh? What was that? Did I say something out loud? Yuri first covers her mouth, but then ends up covering her whole face. He's going to hate me. You really didn't do anything wrong, Yuri. Huh? That's... I guess you're right. What am I getting so nervous for? Yuri takes a breath. So, what kind of writing experience do you have? Your use of imagery and metaphors indicates you've written a lot of poetry before. Really? We just picked the most morbid words that we could pick last night. Wow, that's a huge compliment coming from you. This is actually my first time, really. Huh? Yuri stares at me blankly, then looks at my poem again. Well, I know that. I just meant, Yuri trails off, unable to find an excuse. She traces her finger along the words of the poem as if breaking it down more thoroughly. Yeah, okay. This is the reason I was able to tell. It's just that there are specific writing habits that are usually typical of new writers. And having been through that myself, I kinda learned to pick up on them. I think the most noticeable thing I recognize in new writers is that they try to make their style very deliberate. In other words, they tend to pick a writing style separate from the topic matter, and they form-fit the two together. The end result is that both style and expressiveness are weakened. Once Yuri finds her train of thought, it's as if her demeanor totally changes. Her stammering is completely gone and she sounds like an expert. Of course, that's not something you can be blamed for. There's so many different skills and techniques that can go into writing even a simple poem. Not just finding them and building them, but getting them to work together is probably the most challenging part. It might take you some time, but it all comes with practice, and learning by example and trying new things. I also hope that everyone in the club gives you valuable feedback. Natsuki can be a little biased, though. Biased? How? How is a little munchkin biased, aside from, you know, liking cute things? Well, never mind. I shouldn't be talking about people like that. Sorry. It's fine. I'm not sure if Yuri's apologizing to herself, to me, or to Natsuki. Do you mind if I read your poem now? Please do. I'd love to share my thought process behind it. Yuri smiles dreamily as if it's a rare opportunity for her. Which itself is kind of funny. After all, isn't this supposed to be a literature club? Ghosts under the light. The tendrils of hair illuminate beneath the amber glow. Bathing. It must be this one. The last remaining streetlight to have withstood the test of time. The last yet to be replaced by the sickening blue-green hue of the future. I bathe, calm breathing out of the present but living in the past. The light flickers. I flicker back. That's super poetic. I'm sorry I have such terrible handwriting. What? I wasn't thinking that at all. It looked beautiful to me. You look beautiful. I mean, your breasts look. I mean, you look. Okay, we'll just shut up. But it took you a long time to read. Well, I just don't read script very often. I actually think your handwriting is pretty. Oh? That's a relief. Also, I like the poem. Even though it's short, it's really descriptive. It wasn't too short. I usually write longer poems. Not at all. I'm really glad you like it. I'll be honest. Since it's our first time sharing, I wanted to write something a little more mild. Something easy to digest, I suppose. Are you into ghosts, Yuri? Are you into making people ghosts? Actually, that story isn't about a ghost at all, Nez. Really? I must have totally missed the point. Well, I suppose you did only glance over it after all. But remember that poets often express their own thoughts, feelings, and experiences in their work. They usually do more than tell a simple story or paint a picture. In this case, perhaps the subject of the poem is only being symbolically compared to a ghost, lingering in her last remaining places of comfort, unable to let go of her past, and soon to be left with nothing. That's a lot more solemn, putting it that way. I hadn't even thought of it that way. That's impressive. Huh? It's nothing, really. Yours was impressive too, so... Nah. If anything, I could probably learn a thing or two from you. You think so? Yeah, of course. As long as you don't kill me, please. You know, I was really nervous about doing all of this, but in the end I enjoyed it. I'm going to keep doing my best for you, Nez. Oh, don't do it for our sake, please. Me too, I guess. So, who to next? Sayori. This is a good poem, Nez. Are you sure it's your first time? Of course. It's not that good. Am I the kind of guy who would be writing poems in his spare time? I guess you're right. But that's why it impressed me. Well, to be honest, I was afraid that you wouldn't do it seriously, or that you wouldn't even write one at all. I'm really happy that you just wrote one. It just reminds me of how you're really part of the club now. Not to mention the fact that I'm standing in front of you in the club room, being held hostage by your cupcakes and opie. Well, of course. I'm not really into it yet, but that doesn't mean I'll break my promise. See? It's like I said before, Nez. Deep down, you're not selfish at all, you know? Trying new things like this for other people, that's something that only good people do. Thanks, Sayori. I'm not sure if Sayori sees the full picture of my motive here. Exactly, we're only here because we're horny. Then again, I can't deny that she's part of the reason I joined, knowing how much this means to her and all. Yeah, and I'm gonna make sure you have lots of fun here, okay? That will be my way of thanking you. Alright, I'm going to hold you to that then. Just don't kill me. Yay! Now you'll read my poem too, right? Don't worry, I'm really bad at this. We'll see about that. Dear sunshine, the way you glow through the blinds in the morning, it makes me feel like you miss me, kissing my forehead to help me out of bed, making me rub the sleepy from my eyes. Are you asking me to come out and play? Are you trusting me to wish away a rainy day? I look above, the sky is blue. It's a secret, but I trust you too. If it wasn't for you, I could sleep forever, but I'm not mad. I want breakfast. Okay? Sayori? This is just a guess, but... Did you wait until this morning to write this? No. Just a little bit. You can't answer just a little bit to a yes or no question. I forgot to do it last night. Well, at least that makes me feel a little bit better about myself. Don't be mean. I still tried my best. Yeah. I didn't mean to say that it was a bad poem. It just came out nice, or how should I put it? It sounds just like you. Really? Yep. Especially that last line. I made eggs with toast. Even though you were late for school? It's bad to skip breakfast. I get all cranky. I don't want to see you cranky. Well, I guess there's no point in arguing. Anyway, thanks for showing me. This was so much fun. Monika's the best. Her leash is really strong on you. Yeah. But next time I won't forget. And I'm gonna write the best poem ever. Well, I guess I'll look forward to it. Time to talk to Monika. Hi, Nez. Having a good time so far? Haha, yeah. Good, glad to hear it. By the way, since you're new and everything, if you ever have any suggestions for the club, like new activities or things we can do better, I'm always listening. Don't be afraid to bring things up, okay? Alright, I'll keep that in mind. Of course I'll be afraid to bring things up. I'm just better off going with the flow until I'm more settled in. Anyway, want to share your poem with me? It's kind of embarrassing, but I guess I'll have to. Don't worry, Nez. We're all a little embarrassed today, you know? But it's that sort of barrier that we'll all learn to get past soon. Yeah, that's true. I don't want to get past any of your barriers. I hand Monika my poem. Great job, Nez. I was going ooh in my head while reading it. It's really metaphorical. I'm not sure why, but I didn't expect you to go for something so deep. I guess I underestimated you. It's easiest for me to keep everyone's expectations low. That way it always counts when I put some effort in. That's not very fair. Well, I guess it worked anyway. You know that Yuri likes that kind of writing, right? Writing that's full of imagery and symbolism. Unlike Sayori, who likes using simple and direct words to describe happiness and sadness. Yuri likes it when readers are left to derive their own meaning out of it. It's very challenging to write like that effectively, both allowing people to get something out of it just by feel, or letting them deeply analyze all the nuances. It can take years of practice, which I'm assuming Yuri has it at this point. I never really asked though. I'm sure I'm nowhere near her level yet. Don't worry so much about that. You do your own thing. Just keep exploring and learn by trying new things. I'm sure I'll end up trying different things a lot. It could take a while before I feel comfortable doing this. That's okay. I'd love to see you try new things, Nez. That's the best way to find the kind of style that suits you. Everyone else might be a little bit biased towards their own kinds of styles, but I'll always help you find what suits you the most. So don't force yourself to write the way everyone wants you to write. It's not like you have to worry about impressing them or anything. Anyway, do you want to read my poem now? Don't worry, I'm not very good. You sound pretty confident for someone who claims not to be very good. Well, that's because I have to sound confident. That doesn't mean I always feel that way, you know? I see. Give us your poem. Well, let's read it then. Hole in the wall. It couldn't have been me. See the direction the spackle protrudes. A noisy neighbor, an angry boyfriend. I'll never know. I wasn't home. I peer inside for a clue. No, I can't see. I reel, blind like a film let out in the sun. But it's too late. My retina's already scorched with a permanent copy of a meaningless image. It's just a little hole. It wasn't too bright. It was too deep, stretching forever into everything. A hole of infinite choices. I realized now I wasn't looking in. I was looking out, and he on the other side was looking in. That's kind of ominous. So what did you think? It's very freeform, if that's what you call it. So it's spoken word. Sorry, I'm not really the right person to ask for feedback. It's okay. Yeah, that kind of style has gotten pretty popular nowadays. That is, a lot of poems have been putting emphasis on the timing between words and lines. When performed out loud, it can be really powerful. So what was the inspiration behind this one? Well, I'm not sure if I know how to put it. I guess you could say that I had some kind of epiphany recently. It's been influencing my poems a bit. Something tells me it involves us. An epiphany? Yeah, something like that. I'm kind of nervous to talk about deep stuff like that, because it's kind of coming on strongly. Maybe after everyone is better friends with each other. Anyway, here's Monica's writing tip of the day. Sometimes when you're writing a poem or a story, your brain gets too fixated on a specific point. If you try so hard to make it perfect, then you'll never make any progress. Just force yourself to get something down on the paper and tidy it up later. Another way to think about it is this. If you keep your pen on the paper in the same spot for too long, you'll just get a big dark puddle of ink. So just move your hand and go with the flow. That's my advice for today. Thanks for listening. Phew, we're done with reading everyone's poems. It's not as morbid as I thought it would be. I guess that's everyone. I glance around the room. That was a little more stressful than I anticipated. It's as if everyone is judging me for my mediocre writing abilities. Even if they're just being nice, there's no way my poems can stand up to theirs. This is a literature club after all. I sigh. I guess that's what I ended up getting myself into. My horniness got me into this, I better go through with it. Across the room, Sayori and Monica are happily chatting. My eyes land on Yuri and Natsuki. They gingerly exchange sheets of paper, sharing their respective poems. As they read in tandem, I watch each of their expressions change. Natsuki's eyebrows furrow in frustration. Meanwhile, Yuri smiles sadly. What's with this language? Huh? Did you say something? Oh, it's nothing. Natsuki dismissively returns to the poem on her desk with one hand. I guess you could say it's fancy. Thanks. Yours is cute. Cute? Did you completely miss a symbolism or something? It's clearly about the feeling of giving up. How can that be cute? I know that. I just meant the language, I guess. I was trying to say something nice. You mean you have to try that hard to come up with something nice to say? Thanks, but it really doesn't come out that nice at all. Well, I do have a couple of suggestions. If I was looking for suggestions, I would have asked someone who actually liked it. Which people did, by the way. Sayori liked it, and Nez did too. Whoa, don't bring me into this. So based on that, I'll gladly give you some suggestions of my own. First of all, excuse me. I appreciate the offer, but I've spent a long time establishing my writing style. I don't expect it to change anytime soon, unless of course I come across something particularly inspiring. Which I haven't yet. Yeah. And Nez liked my poem too, you know. Hey! Don't bring me into this! I have nothing to do with your catfight! He even told me he was impressed by it. Natsuki suddenly stands up. God damn it. Oh? I didn't realize you were so invested in trying to impress our new member, Yuri. That's not what I... You're just... Yuri stands up as well. Maybe you're just jealous that Nez appreciates my advice more than he appreciated yours. And how do you know he didn't appreciate my advice more? Are you that full of yourself? No. If I was full of myself, I would deliberately go out of my way to make everything I do overly cutesy. Oh snap, she hit a chord. Is everyone okay? Well, you know what? I wasn't the one whose boobs magically grew a size bigger as soon as Nez started showing up.
Damn, they're bringing out the big guns.
Literally, though. Natsuki! Natsuki, that's a little... This doesn't involve you. I don't like fighting, guys.
Suddenly, both girls turned towards me as if they just noticed I was standing there. Do not bring me into this.
Nez? She's just trying to make me look bad. That's not true. She started it. If she could get over herself and learn to appreciate that simpler writing is more effective, then this wouldn't have happened in the first place. What's the point of making her poems all convoluted for no reason? The meaning should jump out at the reader, not force them to have to figure it out. Help me explain that to her, Nez. Oh wait, there's a reason we have so many deep and expressive words in our language. It's the only way to convey complex feelings and meaning the most effectively. Avoiding them is not only unnecessarily limiting yourself, it's also a waste. You understand that, right, Nez? Well?
How did I get dragged into this in the first place? You were horny, that's how. It's not like I know anything about writing. But whomever I agree with, they'll probably think more highly of me. So of course that's going to be, help me, Sayori. Natsuki. Natsuki glares at me, drying up any words I had in my mouth. So instead, I turn to Yuri. Yuri? But Yuri's expression is so defenseless, I can't bring myself to say anything to her. Sayori, help! Yeah. Everyone's fighting is making Sayori uncomfortable. How can the two of you keep fighting when you know you're making your friend feel like this? How could you?
Nez? Well, that's her problem. This isn't about her. I agree. It isn't fair for others to interject their own feelings into our conflict.
But you interjected me into your conflict!
Yeah, unless Sayori wants to tell Yuri what a stuck-up jerk she's being. She would never. It's your immaturity that made her upset in the first place. Excuse me? Aren't you listening to yourself? This is exactly why. Exactly why nobody likes... Stop! Natsuki, Yuri, you guys are my friends. I just want everyone to get along and be happy with the power of friendship. My friends are wonderful people, they would never fight like this, and I love them because of their differences. Natsuki's poems, they're amazing because they give you so many feelings with just a few words. And Yuri's poems are amazing because they paint beautiful pictures in your head. Everyone's so talented. So why are we fighting?
Give her an applause, everyone. Give Sayori an applause for getting these two idiots to stop fighting.
Because... well... also, Natsuki's cute and there's nothing wrong about that. And Yuri's boobs are the same as they always were. Big and beautiful!
Big and beautiful boobs, everyone! You heard it straight from Sayori. Sayori! Sayori stands triumphantly. Monika stands behind her with a bewildered expression.
Oh, make some tea.
Yuri rushes off. Natsuki sits down with a blank expression on her face, staring at nothing. So this is why Sayori is vice pres. I whisper to Monika. She nods in return. To be honest, I might come off as a good leader and I can organize things, but I'm not very good with people. I couldn't even bring myself to interject. As pres, that's kind of embarrassing of me. Nah, it's not like I can blame you. I wasn't able to say anything either, you fucking beta. Well, I guess that just means Sayori's amazing in her own way, isn't it? Isn't she? You could say that. She might be an airhead, but sometimes it's weirdly suspicious that she knows exactly what she's doing. That is very foreshadowing. I don't want to know what that means. I see. Take good care of her, okay? I would hate to see her get herself hurt. That makes the two of us. You can count on me. Monika smiles sweetly at me, causing my stomach and my throat to knot. Such a genuine person really does make a good pres regardless of what she says. If only I can get the chance to talk to her a little bit more. Okay, everyone. It's just about time for us to leave. How did y'all feel about sharing poems? It was a lot of fun. Well, I'd say it was worth it. It was alright. Well, mostly. Nez, how about you? Yeah, I'd say the same. It was a neat thing to talk about with everyone. Awesome. In that case, we'll do the same thing tomorrow. And maybe you learned something from your friends too. So your poems will turn out even better. I think to myself, I did learn a little more about what kind of poems everyone likes. With any luck, that means I can at least do a better job impressing those I want to impress. I nod to myself in newfound determination.
Nez, ready to walk home?
Sure, let's go.
Huh?
Sayori beams at me. It truly has been a while since Sayori and I have spent this much time together. I can't really say I'm not enjoying it either. Sayori, about what happened earlier?
Huh? What do you mean?
You know, between Yuri and Natsuki. Does that kind of thing happen often?
No. That's really just the first time I've seen them fight like that. I promise they're both wonderful people. You don't hate them, do you?
No, I don't hate them. I just want to hear your opinion, that's all. I can see why they'd make good friends with you.
You know, Nez, it's nice that I get to spend time with you in the club. But I think seeing you get along with everyone is what makes me the happiest. And I think everyone really likes you too.
Yeah, I hope they like me enough not to kill me, please. That's...
Every day is going to be so much fun.
It looks like Sayori still hasn't caught on to the kind of situation I'm in. Sure, being friends with everyone is nice, but... does it really need to stop there? You horny motherfucker. That's going to be the death of you. We'll just have to see what the future holds, Sayori. I pat Sayori on her shoulder. I said that more to myself than to her, but it's easy to use Sayori as an internal monologue sometimes.
Okay.
Yeah, let's do this. Time to write our poem for the night. Since we made a very morbid poem last time that attracted Yuri's attention, let's make a cute poem this time. Fluffy. Blanket. Pure. Kawaii. Jumpy. Shiny. Doki Doki. Vacation. What else? Pink. Special. Kitty. What else? Cute words. Daydream. Giggle. Promise, lipstick, anime, ribbon. Poof. Tears, bouncy. Melody. Music. Horror, shame, marriage. Treasure. Silly. And that's it.